Welcome to today's webinar, Helpful Tips for Entering the 2019 IAEM Awards Competition. My name is Jackie Nicole. I am currently serving as the chair of the Awards and Recognition Committee. Today I'll be joined in the presentation by Sarah Moore, the Awards Committee Vice Chair, and Rocky Lopes, the Awards Committee Past Chair. Today we'll be talking about the award categories, we'll be talking about the nomination process, we'll be talking about guidelines, forms, some hints on how to submit a successful nomination form with an eye on deadlines for submission. Canada's awards are due May 1st. The Global and USA awards are due May 31st, 5 p.m. Eastern Time. I'm very pleased to announce this year that the IAEM board has approved award winners to receive a credit towards their registration fee of the annual conference. There'll be a $315 reduction of their conference fee when they register. This is a significant amount and a great way to recognize the efforts of those that win. In addition to getting the reduced registration fee, there will also be an award showcase during the conference. Details are still being worked out, but this will give all the award winners a chance to be highlighted during the conference in Savannah between November 15th and 20th. With that brief overview, I'm going to turn it over to Rocky, and he will talk about the award categories.
Thank you, Jackie. It's my pleasure to once again support the IAEM Awards and Recognition Committee and this process. We really want to recognize the great people out there who are members of the IAEM and contributing to the excellence in emergency management across the U.S. and around the world. And I'll begin with describing 4 of the global award categories. These are awards that are available to anyone who is a member of the IAEM USA, Canada, Oceania, International, or any other IAEM council. The first award is Business and Industry Preparedness, and this is based on excellence in implementing a program that plans for multiple hazards and sets implementation priorities and is cost-effective. And it links all levels of the organization and coordinates with local emergency management agencies. So this is for a business that has done good emergency management activity. The second one I'll describe is Partners in Preparedness, and I want to emphasize this is a public-private partnership. So between a public agency, such as a local emergency management agency, and a private business that have collaborated together and demonstrate innovative, multiple participant involvement between the local government or governmental entity and a private sector business. Both the public and the private partners receive an award for the activity that they are nominating for this award. There's a lot more information on the website that describes this award. The third award in the Global Awards category are the Public Awareness Award, and this is the oldest award the IAEM has offered. Public awareness is recognizing outstanding public awareness programs and public education products related to emergency management, homeland security, public health preparedness, and/or disaster preparedness. So it's the traditional outreach and education activities that many of us do to engage the public in preparing and mitigating disasters. The fourth award in this category, or global awards categories, is Technology and Innovation. This recognizes the development of technology and innovation activities and products to improve emergency management operations, public education, or emergency management and homeland security field. In the past several years, we have recognized a lot of really cool technological approaches toward emergency management activities, including apps and websites and damage assessment surveys, for example. Next slide, please. Now we have USA Council Award categories, and I'll begin with the highest level award that the IAEM offers, and that's the Clayton R. Christopher Memorial Award, which is presented to a member of the IAEM in recognition of unselfish devotion and outstanding contributions as modeled by Clayton Christopher to the overall emergency management program. The nominations have to include a written justification for the award, and they are focused on a local, city, county, or tribal emergency management director or coordinator who deserves the award. So this is a local emergency management director's recognition for a long length of service and contributions to the profession. The next award available for USA Council is the Emergency Manager of the Year Award. And that award was begun last year and is separate and distinct from the Clayton R. Christopher Memorial Award because it broadens eligibility beyond traditional local emergency management director or coordinator level to allow any emergency management practitioner at any level the opportunity to earn recognition. You have to be a member of the IAEM USA Council, and you must be a practitioner of emergency management who's currently working in the position or is retired no more than 1 year ago. The next award in the USA award categories is Career Excellence. And this recognizes a national leader who's made significant contributions to the profession of emergency management throughout his or her career to promote and improve our profession across the United States. The fourth award available for this category is Emergency Management Volunteer of the Year. And as it is described by the title, it recognizes the services of a single individual who made extraordinary emergency management contributions during the 2018 calendar year. Nominations have to be for an individual who participates as an active volunteer with a recognized emergency management voluntary organization. And the fifth award available for the USA Council is the Emergency Management Voluntary Organization of the Year. This is for an organization, usually a member of the National Voluntary Organizations Active in Disaster, who made, as an organization, extraordinary emergency management contributions during the 2018 calendar year. The voluntary organization must be recognized by the IAEM and or FEMA through a memorandum of understanding or other acknowledgments. Next slide. Okay. Now we have three specific awards for the Uniformed Services Caucus. The first is the Uniformed Services Auxiliary Member of the Year, which recognizes the services of a single individual who made extraordinary emergency management volunteer contributions during 2018. As a member of a Uniformed Services Auxiliary organization, such as the U.S. Coast Guard Auxiliary or the Civil Air Patrol of the Air Force. The second award under Uniformed Services Caucus is the Civilian Uniformed Services Emergency Manager of the Year. So this is for a civilian who works with any branch of the U.S. Armed Services who has consistently demonstrated significant contributions to the field of emergency management while continuing self-developing as an emergency manager. The third award for Uniformed Services is the Military Uniformed Services Emergency Manager of the Year. So this is a military equivalent to the civilian award that I just described. It recognizes individuals who are serving actively in uniformed services of the U.S. and demonstrated significant contributions to the field of emergency management. Next slide, please. Now we have 4 more awards for students. They're student-related. 2 of them are available for any council of the IAEM to participate in, and that is for a Student of the Year, which recognize an emergency management student who's made significant contributions to the field of emergency and disaster management. It can be done through volunteer work, promotion in the field, and contributions in the community. We also look at academic achievement and active enrollment in a program of studies in the field of emergency management, homeland security, or related academic field. The second global award for students is the Student Ally of the Year, and this is presented to an individual, and they may or don't have to be an IAEM member, or an organization who has assisted, promoted, or supported IAEM students in their activities in the field of emergency management. Examples can be individuals who really worked hard to ensure student involvement in emergency management programs, served as mentors in guiding students toward their degrees or their CEM or AEM credential. The next 2 awards are for the USA Council only, the Student Chapter of the Year Award, and this is for an IAEM registered student chapter at a college or university campus in the U.S. that has made significant contributions in promoting the IAEM, the Student Council, and the field of emergency management through a number of different types of activities. And the 4th student-related award is the Student Chapter Advisor of the Year. To have a really good student chapter, you need a good student advisor. And so we recognize a student chapter advisor who's gone above and beyond the call of duty and making great strides in promoting the work of the student chapter and the IAEM students as a whole. Next slide, please. We're also really pleased because the IAEM Awards and Recognition Committee on the global level also is inclusive of our Canada Council. Our Canada Council has 4 awards specific to members of IAEM Canada. The first one is the Career Excellence Award, and this is similar to the Career Excellence Award that I described a little while ago for the USA. It recognizes a national leader in Canada who's made significant contributions through their career to promote and improve emergency management profession in Canada. The second Canada Council Award is the Emergency Management Volunteer Award, and this recognizes a volunteer who's made significant contributions to promote and improve the emergency management profession in Canada. The third Canada Council Award is a Prepared Community Award, and this is an interesting approach to recognize a Canadian community effort with respect to emergency management principles of mitigation and preparedness to enhance public safety in Canada. So this is recognizing a community that has gotten prepared and engaged its residents. The 4th award is called the Merit Award. The IAEM Canada Merit Award recognizes an individual or organization for having performed significant contributions to the emergency management field in Canada in recent years. So there are a number of different awards and award categories that our IAEM members in USA, Canada, and other councils are eligible to enter. And I'll turn it now over to our next speaker who described the entry process.
Thanks, Rocky. This is Sarah Moore, and I'm going to present about the nomination process in general. So for everyone out there, make sure that you go to the website, iaem.org/awards. That's where you'll find all of the information about what you need to do to prepare to submit a nomination and how to actually nominate someone. There is not an entry fee for nominations from IAEM members, and everything gets emailed over to Karen Thompson at IAEM.com. There are no late submissions, so make sure that you keep an eye on the calendar and get to work on your nomination sooner rather than later. Next slide. So the first step to nominate someone is to go to the website. There is two different ways you can go about this. You can either just enter the link in, or you can go to the IAEM website and under groups, find USA Committees, and then click on Awards and Recognition Committee. From there, you would go down to the bottom where it says IAEM Annual Awards Competition and click on the word here, and that'll take you to the same page. Now, when you get to the 2019 IAEM Award Competition page, it has information about the call for entries. It's got the press release, the deadlines, the judging, things like that. And at the very bottom, it's got the IAEM Award categories. And you can click on these categories that Rocky just went over to get more information. Each category has a number of awards within there, and you'll just want to click around on the page to find the one that you have in mind for nominating someone. Similarly, the links to the candidate forms are also on the website. If you go to iaem.org/Canada-awards, same kind of setup. And what I want to stress to you guys is not only to start thinking now about who you might want to nominate and to look over the categories to get some ideas, but also to make sure that you take a look at those forms early. Many of them a couple pages long, and there are forms that for each category, and they're similar looking, but they are different. The questions for each category are different, so you really want to make sure when you're doing the nomination that you choose the right form for the word that you want. Next slide, please. Okay, so when you open up one of these nomination forms, the first thing that you're going to see at the top is contact information, and that's for you. We need to know who is making the nomination. And then you put in who you're nominating and their contact information, and you just start filling out the form. It's pretty easy once you get into a groove, but again, it can take some time, so we want to encourage people to start looking at that now. You do want to provide complete information, so don't skip any of the boxes. Really look at the descriptors for each of the narrative sections and make sure that you describe the importance of each section, the person's involvement in the category, the impact that they had on the emergency management community, etc. Any place that you can provide statistics, you can provide samples of the work that they have done. If it's a program, maybe you want to include a flyer, a poster. And if you do provide a website, maybe they have their information online, we will absolutely take a detailed look at that during the judging process. So any of these things can be attached to the nomination form when you submit it via email. Also, be advised that some categories do require letters of recommendation. If there isn't one required, you can still submit that. But if there is one required, you want to keep that in mind so you make sure you get all those ducks in a row in time for the deadline. Again, there is no entry fee for nominations from IAEM members. So for example, I'm an IAEM member, so I can nominate people and I don't have to pay a fee. If you're not an IAEM member, you'll need to fill out the last section of the nomination form. There is a $75 fee, and you want to just put in all of your payment information there at the bottom before you submit it. Next slide, please. All right, some hints for everyone on how you can put forth a successful nomination form. First of all, you want to make sure that you really are thorough with those narrative sections. You want to paint the picture of why they deserve to win. I highly encourage you to use the keywords that are in the descriptor so that as the judges go through, they know exactly point by point which item you are speaking to. You'll want to fill out each section of the form completely, definitely follow the directions, and just keep in mind that the judges, they will probably not be familiar with who you're nominating or the project. So you're really going to want to be thorough with your description. I suggest that you look through each of the categories before you start writing so that you can maximize the amount of time that you spend filling that out. Next slide, please. So again, review those forms now. Don't wait for the deadline. I submitted a successful nominee last year. It took me about 2 hours to do it, and there was some information that I had to collect before I submitted it. So again, do not wait until the day of. For example, you have to put in the contact information of the person you're nominating. You might not have their mailing address or their cell phone number. These are things that you're going to want to get before the deadline. Also, I would recommend that you have someone who is not familiar with the program or your nominee give that form to someone else and have them look over it just to make sure that everything makes sense. They don't even have to be in emergency management. Just kind of double checking that what you're saying is complete and would be a good nomination to the judges. Again, everything gets emailed over to Karen for the global and the U.S. nominations. For the Canada nominations, it gets sent to a different email address, which is on the website and also on the next page. Here are the deadlines, and real quick, I'm going to turn it over to Rocky. He has a lot of experience with this, and just see if there's anything else that he would like to recommend. Rocky?
Thank you, Sarah. As having reviewed and judged IAEM award entries for over 20 years now, some things have I've been seeing happen with rapidity over the years. So what I want to point out is please review and reread and have someone else read for you your award nomination. And I am explaining it that way because when we see the award entry as a judge, sometimes we've seen entire parts of it left out, or it just doesn't make sense. Some sentences have been incomplete, or there have been details that have been missing. Like I've actually seen award entries that said, so-and-so delivered XXX presentations to the community. And it was like they were going to go get that information and then they forgot to get it or they forgot to fill it in. So have someone look it over and make sure that the entry is complete. That's my number one recommendation. The other thing, as Sarah said before, is to make sure that you submit it early. Submit it before the last day of the entry deadline because Karen Thompson, who will receive them, will do an initial scan, and she's not evaluating or judging them, but she's making sure that the information is complete and is submitted for the correct award category. If Karen has any questions about the completeness, accuracy, or appropriateness of the entry, she would have time to consult with the awards chair, Jackie, to make sure that it fits right, and if it doesn't, there would be time to go back to the person submitting the entry to clarify any questions to make sure that's submitted for the right award category. Unfortunately, in the past, we sometimes have had to disqualify some award entries that were submitted at the last minute. It seemed to be a little bit haphazard, and we didn't have time after the award entry deadline passed to go back and get clarifying questions answered. So that's a real strong recommendation to submit it at least 3 or 4 days before the entry deadline to make sure that any questions can be handled on the administrative matter before it is submitted to the judges. And then finally, please do include detail, description about why this award entry really qualifies for an award. It's become really apparent when I've read the thousands of entries that I've read over the years that some of them are really truly deserving because they're well substantiated with statistical data that support the award entry, with maybe some support letters or examples and documentation of what the award entry is all about. Those who take time to provide that supporting documentation and statistics truly tend to rise up toward the level of selection for an award. So take the time to include the supporting documentation and statistics because that can really, really help boost the consideration of the judging panel for selecting that entry for an overall award. And then finally, or final to what Sarah said and Jackie, if you have any questions at all, if you're just not sure what something means on the entry application or on the website, ask. There are no stupid questions. Ask if you don't know or if you're not sure it fits the right category or if you think this might be suited for one category or another, or what the award criteria seem to indicate as to what is judged. If you have any questions like that at all, just send an email to Karen at IAEM.com, and she will make sure that you get an answer that will help you prepare the best award entry that you can. So
hey, well, thank you, Rocky. Okay. Thanks, Rocky and Sarah. That was excellent information, very succinctly. Again, the Canada deadline is May 1st, and those forms are on their webpage and are submitted to this email address at Outlook. The awards will be announced at the Canadian Conference in Alberta the first part of June. The Global and USA deadline is May 31st, 5 p.m. And like Rocky says, submitting a few days early is always a good idea. Karen's email address is thompson@iaem.com. We being the awards committee members, we will be judging the nominations through the month of June. The award winners will be notified in July, and they will be announced at the USA conference in Savannah in November. At this point, we can open up if there's any questions you'd like to ask right now. Chelsea, if you'd open up the... Oh, they are open. Okay. Thank you. No questions right now, but let me give you some wrap-up information. These are the two websites for Canada and for the Global and USA. Here are email addresses for myself, Sarah, Rocky, and Karen. And when we conclude this webinar today, it will be on the IAEM website. We also have an overview PDF on the website that very succinctly provides information about the Global and USA Only Awards, a description, judging categories, and actually who the past winner is. Okay, we do have one question that came in asking, and Rocky, you might be the best one to answer this, whether a global individual can apply for Public Awareness Award, global one.
All right, the Public Awareness Awards are available to anyone who is a member of the IAEM, and you become a member of the IAEM through the council that serves the geographic area of the world. So if you're an IAEM member, the answer is yes, you would submit it as a representative or an affiliate of the council with which you are a member of the IAEM. And if you are is there a global council? I'm asking Chelsea. Okay, we're not getting an answer there, but the generally is yes, you can submit a public awareness award entry if you're a member of the IAEM, and we'll figure out which council with which it is affiliated if it's unclear.
Chelsea has texted that there is an Asian council.
Okay, then it would be affiliated with the Asian Council, and yes, it would be welcome.
Okay, if any other questions come up in the next while before the deadlines, please feel free to email any of us and we will find the answer and get back to you. And with that, thank you very much for joining us today. This will conclude our first webinar for the Awards 2019 competition. Thank you so much.